seeing
Give me a free large.
Partnering with somebody to like make a game, or games
and that's why you don't snap it.
Of like different creators. I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah. That happened at Moose. We met somebody called Alex, and he kind of introduced us to the idea. Like, he kind of like planted the seed in our head.
Yep.
And I was like, that's genius. Like, why don't we do that? Why don't we try contacting these creators? But anyways, I don't want to get caught up too much. You know, I'm just gonna keep going on the slides.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, he's going down.
Roster. As I said, I designed the characters, and my goal was to basically do everything I was told how to do. You know, I worked at companies where they're like, you can't do anything animated. You can't do anything with like anthropomorphic characters. You can't do anything. It was like so limited. At the time, I kind of switched to indie because I got so
thank God for the chair.
I was like, let's just have fun with it. Like, this is my Bible. This is what I grew up with. I grew up with like 90s Capcom, you know, and they were having so much fun. They were just going absolutely crazy with their designs. And it was kind of that arcade. In the 90s, they had 10 seconds to get your attention, and I'm like, why can't we bring that back?
Oh my God.
So the whole idea is like, by having such a variety of characters, you know, there's something for everyone. That's the way I like to look at it. Every character is completely different. They are like, some of them are beginner friendly, some will be more advanced, some will be very technical. But we kind of design, like, for example, Vlad and Val feel like a Ryu or a Ken. You know, you can pick them up super quickly, they do projectiles, they feel familiar. But the thing about our characters, which I'd like to stress, is we designed them with like story first.
Go.
You know what I mean? One big peeve that I've had about like a lot of live service games and some of these other like franchises that are coming out, they release all these cool characters. I go to their Discord and I'm like, hey, like, what's the backstory? And I get nothing. Like, they're just like, it's cool looking. It's kind of like a badass character. It's got a one-sentence piece of lore to it. We designed every character in our community, and we kind of built up entire backstories for them. There's lore, you know, there's motivations.
Oh!
Look at, for example, gacha games. Like, people like the characters so much they spend $1,000 on them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and I'm like, the way I look at it is kind of like again, I grew up in the 90s, so for me it's like looking at this like a Saturday morning cartoon. I would love to do stuff outside the game. I want to do like maybe an animated series outside. Because our community latched onto the characters early on, like even before we showed gameplay, like we were doing stuff like fan art. We'd have people on our Discord server saying like, hey, what's the story behind this character? Like, what's the deal? And we have like a lore channel. We literally discuss stuff with them at an early stage, and it helps us with our development. And I'm really grateful for them, honestly. Like some of them have led some amazing ideas, not just story wise, design wise. And that's one thing I would say to AAA if I could. If I could have a platform, like this would be fans. Like, they are the best asset. So, just to give you an idea, in the next slide, somebody that joined our Discord server ended up being an
That's
anime.
how.
So we ended up collaborating on a reveal of one of our characters. Just like this organic thing. He's like characters, you know, animated. I'm like, let's do something together. This thing.
Let's see it.
Name's Molly. Never been easy for me. There are obstacles everywhere, especially with trying to take this one's junk apart. You know? These joints might be a little rusty, but I'm ready to give it
So you just had somebody on Discord just come up with that?
His name's Yerkdiff, and he's
wow.
like, now he's working on another indie game. He's working on Billy Busting right now as the animation director. I'm like, this is what companies are missing out on. Like this type of collaboration. It's fun. There's so many talented people out there. It's crazy. And we've had multiple people from our community join us as team members as a result of stuff like this. Like we just like identified. They're in our Discord server. They're sharing their work. I'm like, dude, this guy's awesome. And we're doing this with like no budget. We're literally doing this with no budget. We've been with no budget for like 5-6 years.
Is that why you're here?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Our office is our Discord server. We literally we fund ourselves by just basically doing freelance and work on the side, and we just shove it in a pot and we use it to like fund everything that we do.
Yeah.
It's been nuts, but a lot of indie devs are in the same boat. I think I'm not the only one that's ever said this. So on the next slide, I guess. This is just more like a multiplayer thing.
Okay, go on.
We just wanted to kind of like show where we come to fit. And because we're like, okay, there's a bunch of fighting games out there. They're way bigger than us. So where do we kind of fit? And our whole idea is like, okay, let's do something that's maybe more inspired by a slightly older fighting game. Make it accessible, but keep it also strategic. Because a lot of the modern, like, more anime fighters, for example, they're so hyper-accessible that you will, for example, just press, like, X, 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 and it'll just do everything for you. So we're trying to make it that you have 6 buttons at your disposal, a light, medium, and a heavy, and you just have simplified input. So it kind of, like, eases you into, like, how to play fighting games. You wanna take it to the next level? You wanna learn to do motion inputs? You can. You will be just as competitive without it. We're kind of catering to both of those crowds. But as I mentioned, like, we're not trying to be a live service. We're literally just making a game that feels like a PlayStation 2. It's you pay a price, you get the game, you get some online to mess with. You have unlockables already in the game, and you get a single player too. And more on that. So let's move on to the next slide. So we were kind of discussing brainstorming with the community, and we had all these assets from the previous game that we were working on. You know, the one that we had to.
What if I just hit the stop button right now?
The big company kind of like did the concept. And we were like, you know, like what if we tried something that maybe resembles like an action roguelite? Imagine a game where I'm a huge fan of Slay the Spire. And it's on a 2D plane, and you're fighting enemies, and you play cards. I'm like, what if you remove the card aspect? Like, how do you play cards and use more like action? You know, what if you could build up a moveset? You start off with just like basic normals, and maybe like a simple projectile. And then you get all the same kind of like augments, upgrades, interesting items that allow you to kind of like make each run completely unique.
What are you doing?
But the whole idea is like it would be story driven. Every time you die, you would just go back to a hub world. Our whole idea is all story driven. There's a whole narrative behind it. It's Volley, our main protagonist.
Yeah.
She's kind of stuck
You have to, like,
in a
run.
paradox
Oh, God.
void. It's kind of like Groundhog Day, and she's trying to escape it. So, and thanks to this idea of like these shards, as we call them, each zone will be like super different. We'll have one that's like based off of Queen Q, who's our cat in a mech, and you'll be fighting like cat-based enemies. Same thing you'd expect from any roguelike, but make it a fighting game. I think there's a very interesting concept there that hasn't been done before. So
I like that idea a lot, actually. That's super interesting.
So we haven't done any work on this. This is basically all within the last few weeks. We've just been making a design document for it because we
idea.
execute on it. So if you move on to the next slide, for example, like this would be you fighting, for example, a zone boss. You know, so like the big bruiser boss.
Right, yeah.
And you already have like some items. You'd have some abilities already built up. And the whole idea is like, yeah, using your skills, the items that you get, you can kind of like hopefully take this guy down, or he might like one-shot you if you don't have the right build out. But that's the whole appeal of the roguelite stuff, right? It's all about getting that good run going.
Yeah.
And if you move on to the next page, we want to have the same kind of like augment and upgrade system. It'll still be card-based in a sense, but when you're building up ability, you're choosing between abilities, or maybe like a cursed artifact that gives you like damage.
Wow.
Or maybe you get an augment, a medical bot that can heal you for 30% of your health before you bleed. You know, it's the stuff that people are used to, but in a completely new setting. And it's way more action-oriented. And I think this will appeal to people that, you know, don't want to be sweating. They want to be online and playing multiplayer and ranking up. There is a huge market of people that are interested in fighting games. And I think this would be the best way to ease them in. And they'd never have to touch multiplayer if they don't want to.
I think
Like,
that's probably one of the biggest. That's the biggest weakness that fighting games have. And that's why they're not a lot bigger. Is because like how do you go from like point A to point Z like that fast, right? Because like the campaign is usually like just a few cutscenes and it's not that hard. And then you immediately queue in, and like the skill gap is so huge. It's just like, yeah, I think a lot of people are really intimidated by that.
So, here's our design thinking. This would basically ease you into every
Taka should turn around
You
and
would
just like.
start off with just like punches and kicks, some blocking. Then you'd get your first ability. Then you'd get your second ability, and it just kind of like just eases you into kind of like learning. Okay, I can do an uppercut in this kind of situation.
Well, I totally understand the logic, right? Because like basically like these different artifacts and bonuses that you get in between the levels give you a reason to use a different type of gameplay that teaches you the character. Is that the logic?
Yep, and the whole idea, I think, is we want these runs to eventually get disgusting. Like you'll have like a level 20 projectile that is the size of the screen. Or maybe you launch out like 15
It bit me.
projectiles in a
Oh my
row
god,
at
it
a
bit me.
time. It's the same kind of fun
I'm
that's
not
like
bleeding,
like
but
Binding
yep.
Isaac, for example.
Yeah.
Like, things can get broken, you know what I mean? That's gonna be the long-term appeal. Yeah, or Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
My friend Andrew, he has it so broken that it literally breaks his computer when he does run. He's like level 500 everything. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're gonna be asking for. So moving on to ask.
Yeah.
Quickly. So we have a proposal, and our proposal is if you guys support us, we're asking $5K towards the development of a single-player roguelike mode. We want to prototype out basically.
Oh dear.
We will create a cursed encounter. It's a cursed encounter that you have, in which you guys will always provide items that will ruin the player's run in some way or another.
Naturally.
In this one, for example, this is the $2 stake card. It's a card that has an unintended side effect. It might prevent you from jumping anymore. It might have some other effect. It might be, and maybe all three of you might be different part of the same cursed item team. Depending on the. So that's kind of the idea. Like, you guys will basically get a special encounter incentive to you guys. And yeah, and we're basically asking for.
Can't get into our garage without it.
Towards the development of a concept we proposed. As I